Ladies and gentlemen, another day, another accusation and allegation against New York's wonderful governor who wrote a book on leadership lessons. This is the left for you. This is media, mainstream media. The Democratic Party. They can have a really despicable, inept governor. Somebody who runs his state into the ground. The worst outcomes in terms of this crisis for the past year. The worst financial catastrophe. New York and New Jersey, and God bless the people of New York and New Jersey, have the worst outcomes and also the worst economy, highest unemployment rates. Go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So before we get to yet another individual, they say it's the third person, but I think it's like fourth or fifth. And you still have investigations into his decision-making, specifically pertaining to elderly citizens of New York. I mean, this man is like a monster. He didn't tweet. Like Trump is actually a better person than like President Biden or Governor Cuomo. He's a better human being, although he's seen as this monster and tyrant and despot. They try to, like, this is the way media works. They try to blame every single life on Trump while ignoring the decisions that a governor makes that directly impacts the people of his state. When AOC is on social media or Twitter giving these sermons and preaching because of the immense wisdom this person possesses. Oh, what such wisdom, such intelligence and wisdom. And you're talking about New York is run by everybody from de Blasio to AOC to Schumer to Gillibrand to Cuomo. How did they get away with everything? Their decisions directly negatively impacted the lives of citizens. His brother at CNN didn't abide by protocols. I mean, you're talking about the biggest hypocrites of all time. You have Pelosi, who we saw the video or the picture, and then California's governor. We don't have to get into the duplicity. It's pretty unbelievable. But now you have yet another accusation, yet another controversy, and where's the public relations monstrosity? Where's The Nation, Mother Jones, Vanity Fair, Esquire, Rolling Stone, BuzzFeed, The Washington Post, The New York Times? Where are the 30 to 40 people that can corroborate what's being leveled at Cuomo? Where is the outrage in Hollywood? This is a finely tuned machine leveled at Trump. And the way they work is, well, Biden only has 13 people. Trump has 25. Well, obviously 25 is more than 13. So therefore, you should believe all 25, but the 13 against Vice President Biden, no. And by the way, the police report, don't believe that. Don't believe that at all. Well, because, the press has an obligation to vet and to make sure if, what a person's saying is true. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. I didn't have a live stream this evening, but I will tomorrow. And ladies and gentlemen, it's pretty unbelievable, the duplicity, the disingenuous coverage. With Cuomo, there's barely any discussion. I mean, and it's interesting. Why now? Why are Democrats and people leveling these slings and arrows at Cuomo? I'm speaking in roundabout terms because you never know. I just want to always be the controversies associated with Democrats. Actually, if you were to explain them in their entirety, it wouldn't be part of guidelines and policies, and the algorithm would get you. So let's just put it this way: type in Andrew Cuomo, search, and see what he's up to now. This man is 10 times worse than what they painted Trump to be. Because with President Trump, you had a person, they say that the intelligence community warned him. Well, why didn't the intelligence community tell the country? I love that. Why didn't Bob Woodward inform the country? And what about all the experts that Trump surrounded himself with? The one doctor that everyone worships. He presided over the catastrophe as well. You have Whitmer, Cuomo, Newsom. You have these governors being recalled, investigated. There's hush money payments from Whitmer to one state official. I mean, it's like, you can't, definitely don't debate anybody with Trump derangement, but you can't have an actual discussion because it's a religion to them. It's a religion. These are like idols and gods. These are like, Trump is the worst human being who's ever existed to the morally superior liberal, even though the people they propped up are infinitely worse. You look at President Biden's track record. There's nothing that Trump did as bad as voting alongside Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld, or as destructive as voting alongside Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld, and also pushing for the NATO intervention that just obliterated a country. Okay? There's nothing that Trump did that is as detrimental to the planet than what President Obama and Clinton and Biden did to Libya. Nothing. I would love for anyone to name anything that President Trump did that's equivalent to the failed NATO intervention that caused the country to become a failed state. Can you name something that Trump did? Remove his Twitter presence. The Twitter presence, gave Democrats this, psychological or emotional trauma, but it also gave them momentum politically. So they obsessed over his Twitter account. But, you have Cuomo. Oh, President Trump's returning to New York. Nobody knows why. But he's returning to New York. That's what is being reported. New York Daily News. And he's returning to New York as the governor is embattled and is on the ropes. And I just wonder why everyone knew of his behavior before the past couple of months. Gee, why did they wait? Kind of makes you wonder. Things that make you go, Remember Arsenio Hall? Things that make you go, So, and there was even a song. So, things that make you wonder. Why did they wait? Oh, that's right. Maybe it's because, okay, gotcha. It's so easy too, basic, statistics and facts that they claim to just, you've had 4 years of 3 to 4 to 2 to 4 Pinocchios. Where are the fact-checking organizations, or where are the journalists at the Washington Post obsessing over Biden's every word? Oh, that's right. He doesn't speak to the press. Gee, I wonder why. Does he lack the courage that Trump had? Trump, braved and had stood up against journalists that it was like a middle school class going up against a substitute teacher. These people were so petulant and malicious, and the journalists had zero respect for the presidency. Zero respect. They were, you lied, and da-da-da, and all this stuff. It's like, well, wait a second. You can ask basic questions, pertaining to President Biden knowing, I don't know, about meetings that are documented in his son's emails that he said he didn't attend. You can ask a million questions, especially pertaining to the stimulus, all that stuff. Democrats promised the left a certain dollar amount in terms of stimulus. They promised Medicare for all. They promised a Green New Deal legislation. They promised, universal, or at least they talked about universal basic income. They promised an immigration plan. They're yet to implement any of these things. Oh, but you better believe they impeached President Trump. Oh, yeah. When they want to impeach Trump, that's the only time they drop everything. But then it's just, these social media sermons. Now they're going after Glenn Greenwald, great journalist. Fantastic, the epitome of a journalist. Glenn Greenwald is the epitome of journalist. I don't agree with him on everything, but he is an honorable human being. Not the greatest fan of President Trump, but at least he's honest, and he's not an ideologue. The problem is people on the left whether they're Bernie Sanders supporters or whether they're socialists or whether they're any type of far left. It really doesn't matter. They're vote blue no matter who. They're all basically neoliberals, basically. If you're only voting Democrat for your entire life and you can't imagine not voting Democrat, you're like a Hillary bot or a person that, a 50-year-old, very comfortable, morally superior liberal. You're not a socialist. If you're a socialist, you vote Green Party or Democratic Socialist or, there are political parties. You vote for that. You build up that political party. You don't say, well, the only power we have in Washington is the Democratic Party. Well, really? Did you get your stimulus checks that you want? No. Did you get $15 minimum wage? No. Did you get anything close to what you wanted? No. So there is no left. There is no such thing as a leftist. You can have a hammer and sickle on your profile on Twitter. That's pretty much meaningless, especially in 5 or 6 years when Twitter's no longer important. The Democratic Party is not for you. What do I care? I'm not on the left. I support President Trump. Why? Because in terms of grandiose issues, bringing home Americans from never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts. See, if you translate that to the left, that's American empire. So, okay, if you want to limit empire, then you want Americans brought home. See, I actually care about the men and women of the U.S. Armed Forces. I want them home. I don't want, what drives me, you can read, go to hagoodman.com, you can read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, the Roanoke Times, the Jerusalem Post, The Hill, The Huffington Post. I write against counterinsurgency conflicts. And it's a segment of my website, hagoodman.com. That's what drives me. That's the direct line between Bernie 2016 and President Trump. Okay? And, there's so much, I'm not an ideologue. I was a Democrat. I voted for Bernie Sanders. I realized that he's pretty much a tool and a political, just a Democratic politician that masquerades as an independent. He was railroaded in 2016. He might be a good human being. I want him to, live a long and happy life, and I'm sure he's a good human being, good family man, all that stuff. But he is a phony. I say this, it hurts to say, but he's a phony. He's there along with AOC to funnel votes back into the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is a political entity, a machine that covers up the crimes or sins of people like Cuomo and Clinton and Whitmer and de Blasio and New York's, let's put it this way. New York's Attorney General had to resign for a whole bunch of reasons. Al Franken had to resign because there were somebody should tell one of the ladies at The View that there were photos of Franken. That's why he resigned. It wasn't because Democrats really care about their alleged value system. Look how they treated Tara Reade. Look how they treated Kavanaugh's situation. So it's like they don't care about value system. They say, oh, well, Trump has 25 and he was on a hot mic. Yeah, well, he was never accused of what he said on the hot mic. It wasn't an admission and it wasn't a deposition. He admitted. Well, where's somebody coming out saying that happened to them? No, nobody is. But somebody did come out and filed a police report. Trump never had a police report filed against him. President Biden did. Well, 25 is greater than 13, which is greater than 3 or 4 with Cuomo. And what they do with Madison Caulfield, they say, well, we found 36 people to corroborate. Well, where are the people who are corroborating? Did any of these publications go and find out how many people can corroborate what's going on with Cuomo? You'd have well over 100 or 140 or so, because there's about 4 or 5 people now. So they don't level the machine at one of their own. If it's a Democrat, oh my God, it's hands off. Well, we don't know. Gosh, we need evidence. We can't just, If it's President Biden, well, the media is quiet. They had a temper tantrum for 4 years. They were petulant and malicious. And they fact-checked everything. Ooh, even when we had record low unemployment throughout most of Trump's tenure, it was, the economy isn't that good. We had a better economy in the 50s. It's like, oh my God, we had a great economy. So imagine, when the pandemic hit, it was all Trump's fault. Never the people around him, the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful experts. Never the governors, never the mayors of Democratic-run states that have the highest per capita rates and the greatest number of lives lost. Go to the New York Times. Go to the New York Times statistics. 7 of the top 11 states with the greatest number of people who've lost their lives, and for the top 4 highest per capita rates are Democratic-run states. Not Trump's fault. The top 12 places in this country with the highest unemployment rates are Democratic-run states. Not Trump's fault. So, anyway, give me your thoughts below. President Trump visits New York, and it is a homecoming where one of his greatest political rivals now is on the ropes. Which, look, the Lincoln Project is completely disgraced. Cuomo is on the ropes. You better believe there are Hollywood directors and celebrities, and their skeletons will come out of the closet as well. The left is going to implode. If they don't have Trump to complain about, they will absolutely implode. And you see that going on right now. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe.